today because, wow, there are a lot of us here today. Thank you so much for coming out. I'm going to kick off our October General Membership Meeting. I'm Jason Repack. I'm your president for this year and last year. And I'd like to, like I said, go ahead and kick off our General Membership Meeting. Thank you guys so much for coming out today. We're going to start with welcoming any guests. If you are a guest here, would you please stand? We're going to have Stanley come around.
Colin Carley, she is the insurance business with Carolina Strand Underwriters. Colin Carley.
Hi, I'm Linda Walsh with Christian Saunders Real Estate. I'm a realtor.
My name is Richie. I build custom homes, and I'm with that guy right up there, Jason Hudson.
Hi, I'm Jean Stevens with Southeast Insurance Group. I represent HGHBA for employee benefits and also the Supply Trust in South Carolina.
Good afternoon. I'm Joe Davis. This is Jennifer Nicey with Pinnacle Real Estate Academy. Oh, I'm with DCW Hardwood, sorry.
Heather with Conway Builders, and this is Gary with New Millennium Painting, and then I have one more who's on her way from Charleston. She's just a few minutes away. That's Sherry with Cambria USA.
My name is Mike McAuliffe with Saucy Burbank. We're a new home builder here in the Myrtle Beach market.
I'm Rob, I'm with Saucy as well. Single family, residential, new builder, Saybrook community. This is our first day.
I'm Jason Arian with Builders First Source. We're introducing Cameron Yost as our new add-on for our digital solutions and products that we're offering as part of our distribution network.
Well, hi everybody. I was waiting to see when they say that. So I'm Rob Clemens with Mark Roofing. I know most of you guys here. Today I have two guests I'm super excited about. One is Amy Hayes from Restoration One. And if you're on social media, you know you've seen Amy Hayes everywhere. And then the other one is my cousin, John Clemens. He is with Monteith, big commercial contractor out here. So definitely excited to have these guys here.
Thank you, everyone, and thank you for bringing guests. Our association, is only as strong as our membership. So we really appreciate it when you bring out guests with you so they can learn about what we do and see if they're interested in joining us as well as we continue to make this the strongest Home Builders Association membership in South Carolina. We're going to start off doing something a little bit different. So we've decided as a board and an organization, we're now going to start off with the Pledge of Allegiance. So if you'd please stand. And when we complete the Pledge of Allegiance, we're going to have Stan Gottschall come up for the invocation, if you'd stand for that as well, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Jason. It is good to see everybody here. Man, I can't even see the back. Wow. It's because I'm short. Thank you. Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you so much for this day. We thank you for this group. We thank you for the ability to gather and to call upon you in this great nation. Thank you for this association. And Lord, all of its members. And Lord, we thank you for this food and just ask that you would bless it to the nourishment of our bodies and us to thy service. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Thank you. You can be seated. So first off, we're going to release for food in just a moment. Before we get started with everyone, if I would have the production crew go ahead and get started. Our speaker today, if you are speaking today in general, please go ahead and line up for food. And then if you just give them a second to get up, and then we're going to release. All right, everyone. As everyone's finishing up their meal, we're going to go ahead and keep moving on with the program. So at this time, I'm going to call up Charles Foster. He's our board liaison to the membership committee. He's going to come forward to recognize and install our new members. New members, as your name is called, we'll have your plaque, so you'll come up here, be presented with your plaque for a photo, and then go back to your seat, remain standing, please, for the pledge, and then we'll have you all go back to where the tabletops were for a group photo. Charles?
Thank you, Jason. I'm not going to reread my intro here since he just told you who I am. As I call your name, please come forward and accept your plaque. And if I butcher your name, please excuse it. It's not intentional. Right rug, Ryan Mangum. Myrtle blower door, David Williams. United Contractors Roofing, Ksenia Navaslova. Strickland's Home, DBA Betty Jo, Catherine Covington. Saucy Burbank, Michael McAuliffe. As a member of the Horry Georgetown Home Builders Association, do you pledge to assume the responsibilities listed in the Code of Ethics freely and solemnly, mindful that these responsibilities are part of your obligation as members of the Horry Georgetown Home Builders Association? If so, please respond by saying, "I do so pledge." Congratulations, you're now formally and officially members of the Horry Georgetown Home Builders Association. Please head to the tabletop area for a group photo.
Thank you very much, Charles, and I'd like to take this time to thank and welcome all of our new members to the association. We look forward to getting to know you and working together to advance our industry. And now I'm going to have Patrina Bartel come up. She's going to speak to us about our Workforce Development Committee.
Hi, everyone. So I just wanted to tell you, this is, as you can see from the signs on the tables, it is Careers in Construction Month. And as a part of that, we will be inducting our student chapter today. And those are the fine young people in orange shirts you see sitting around. They are our future, so let's support them. They have started their build on the Habitat House out at the school. You guys have heard us talking about the past several months, and the build has started. Last week we did have our press day, and they raised their first wall. We're very proud of them and the work that they're doing. We still need members for workforce development, and I'm sorry, Carrie, is that better? We still need members to help with our workforce development. So anyone wanting to come and mentor and help these kids, please let me know. We have a great team started, and we would love to add to that so we can reach out to more people and youth that would want to become a part of our workforce. We have a great video that the school put together for us about the wall raising. If you want to just look at your monitors, and hopefully Stanley will get it working here for you.
1, 2, 3. Raise that wall! Raise that wall! Raise that wall!
Well, it's a great day to be out here, a beautiful day, and have this opportunity to take part in this new partnership between the Academy for Technology and Academics with Habitat for Humanity and also the Horry Georgetown Builders Association and Horry Electric Cooperative, working together to provide this opportunity for a community member to have a house.
You know, I can't express how exciting this is in words about having this home being built by students at ATA and the partnership that Habitat has with the Home Builders Association of Horry and Georgetown County to actually contribute in a way that's not just in our traditional way of actually building a home for a family in need, but to also help and contribute to the workforce development of our county as well.
Germany Kent, broadcast journalist and television personality, said, "Do work that matters. Choose to participate in initiatives that will positively impact the world and help make a difference in your community.
The Academy for Technology and Academics is very fortunate to have this opportunity for our students to witness and participate in the building of a house from the ground up. It has reignited enthusiasm about the program, and our students are very committed and working super hard.
We talk about the importance of the trades and skills, and we're doing that under Dr. Pridgeon's direction here at the Academy. And these students in the building construction program are gaining incredible, marketable skills that will help them pursue a career once they graduate from high school.
Previously, when we were working in class, we were working on small projects. So they actually get to see how the small projects that we used to do are turning into the bigger project that they really want to do. It makes them more focused on the bigger task.
I feel good for building this house for a family in need, and I feel good about helping myself in the future for what I can do.
It feels good to help a family out that needs it. My experience has been good. It's helped me a lot. It's made me learn a lot. It teach me kind of what I want to do.
So I get the great opportunity of meeting the families on the very front end when they first get accepted into the program, and then watching that transformation that occurs over that 18 months before they receive the keys to their home. It's the most remarkable thing I think I've ever been a part of in my entire life.
I just want to say thank y'all. Like, y'all really do not know how much this means to me and my kids.
It's a happy moment for us. Like, when you first come into the program, you don't see stuff happening, but you know you got to be patient and wait. But when the walls start raising, that's when you know it's almost time. It's been a great journey. It's been a long journey, but it's worth it. It's worth the wait. I'm so glad that the kids actually get the opportunity to actually get to work on my house. I just feel like it's just a great opportunity for everybody, for Habitat, for the kids, the whole community. This is something different.
That is a great video about a great event that we were part of. We're really proud of our partnership with Habitat for Humanity and Horry County Schools to bring this project to fruition, all your family. At this time, I'm going to have Chad Charles come up to speak about that build and give us an update on it. Chad?
Great, thanks so much, Jason. That was a great day last week. If you were there, it was just amazing. There were a lot of people there, but I can tell you the real spotlight, there were two things. One is the family that we're working with, and that's April Collier, but the other one were the students. The students are just amazing at ATA. I cannot tell you how impressed we are and how excited we are to partner with them, and Mr. Davis and his leadership with that class is just doing a phenomenal job. So we do have all the floor joists in. We did raise that wall last week, but we laid it back down when everybody left. Right? So they could get it sheeted, get the windows and doors cut out. And so tomorrow we'll be standing all of the exterior walls and then begin to work on the interior walls and be ready for trusses to be set on November the 12th. November 12th is their big open house and their showcase. I think they've got a car show going on. But we're also going to bring out a crane, thanks to Great Southern Homes and Jason Faulkner. He arranged for a crane to come out on Saturday, which nobody wants to work on a Saturday for Habitat, but Jason arranged that for us. So that'll draw a lot of attention to that build on the Saturday when they have open house, as we'll begin to set trusses, but everything's going along great. We still have a few needs, and what those are, I don't have them right off the top of my head, because we did get a couple more donations yesterday. But if you would like, you're welcome to reach out to Rachel or myself, and we'll be happy to tell you the things we need. I know Stan with Port City Elevators reached out this morning and wanted to do a few things, so we've got to get a list to him. So if you're interested in helping, we'd be happy to talk with you and give you all of those needs. But that's where we are, and things are right on track. And so I do want to just tell you one other thing. We had the groundbreaking at the site, actually in Green Sea this morning, where they turned the dirt and just had a blessing over the ground. and over the family again, and that went extremely well. It was beautiful weather. So anyway, that's where we are with the house, and we're really excited. Thank you so much for your partnership. We're really excited about it, and we're really, and for the family that we're working with, we couldn't ask for a better family. So, all right.
All right, now I'd like to ask Stan Goschel to come forward and recognize our student chapter members that are here today.
Thank you, Jason. Chad, it really was a blessing to be out there for the groundbreaking, and it was touching for the family, but also the future of our industry is here today in Orange. And many of you know me and know that I'm a little bit of a Gamecock fan. So today I'm going to make an exception and say orange is my favorite color today. All right? Woo-hoo! So thank you for all the students. It really was great to have you all there. And I'm going to read your name. When I read your name, if you would, stand. And again, like Charles said, if I butcher it, forgive me, okay? Jose Beltran. Bryson Chestnut. Mason Clark. Tyler Fenner. Tyler Fenner? Got it. Caden Griffin. John Garcia. Connor Graham. Weston Granger. Kona Jackson. Gail Nealon. Jonathan Simons. Lance Thompson. Jamarius Woodbury. Victoria Walters. Kevin Bergonza. George Brennan. Jacob Bray. Mario Castillo. Thomas DiCapia. Thomas Hepburn. Zakaria Jenred. Jacob Jensen. Graves Larmore. Nate Nickel. Nadia Navaldi. Jose Rivera Dron. Bryson Sednor. Jerry Strickland. Jay Suggs. Grayson Vasquez. Thank you so much. And if y'all would, I think they want all y'all to go back and get your picture taken as a group at some point. We're going to do that now or whenever? Okay. I do want to say I've been a member of the association for a few years and working with this group. And I want to recognize somebody. This group used to be like 2 students. But you can see how many we have now. And I think a lot of that is attributable to Roseanne for getting us involved, but also for Bernie. Bernie, I want you to stand up. Bernie's responsible for taking this group from 2 to what you see today. So Bernie, thank you. All right. Thank you too.
Thank you, Stan. From one stain to another. Stanley, come on up here. He's going to talk to us about our Blech. I'm tripping over my own tongue today. Our fall clay tournament.
Good afternoon. We have our fall clay tournament coming up in about 16 days on November 3rd. It is at Backwoods Quail Club again. We'll get registration started around 7:30, and hopefully get everybody out on the course shortly after that. And I'd just like to thank, we got all our sponsors in now, and so that's been great, and everyone that helped sponsor the event, we appreciate what your sponsorship. We also, I think this morning we had 2 more teams registered, so we're up to about 40 teams already signed up. So there's a few spots left, and you got about a week to get your registration in. If you want to register, just go to hghba.com/fallclay, all one word, and it'll take you up to the registration form. You can put in your information, and you can either pay there, or you'll get a confirmation email, and you can send that in with a check for your team. The other thing we're looking for is some raffle prize donations. That's one of the things we're trying to raise money this year for the Fostering Hope Angel of Hope Christmas Drive. And so we've got a couple of kind of bigger raffle prizes that we've talked with people, and we're just looking to see if any businesses are interested in sponsoring those prizes. Some of those are shotguns, grills, coolers, those kind of things that are a little bit higher dollar, but people tend to buy raffle tickets if they're going to win a TV, those kind of things. So if you are interested in that, please reach out to me. You can come up to me during the meeting or email me at stanley.hand@hghba.com. Thanks.
Thanks, Stanley. And I think one other thing, are they still wanting you to call? So if you register, I think they still want us to call for golf cart reservations to them. They have a limited supply of carts, and so make sure if you do register for that. It's a lot of fun. I could say it's a blast, but then I look goofy. But no, it's a lot of fun, but they do have a limited supply of golf carts. So if and when you register, make sure you call there to reserve your cart. Next up, we're going to have Harry Dill. Harry Dill is going to come up to talk to us about our golf tournament raffle. Excuse me.
Hey.
Thank you.
Thank you. For the fall clay tournament, you're about to see the results of what this group as a whole can do if you help by donating some of the prizes for the raffles, just so we can get more people to buy more things. Over the years, it used to be there used to be a lot more raffle prizes, and then it started going downhill for whatever reason, and we haven't gotten near the prizes that we had before. But just to show you something, Chad, if you come back up here for me, please, sir.
I'm going to let Rachel come up there.
All right, Rachel, come on up. Hey, she looks a lot better than you do. This is the result of the raffle from the golf tournament, and we're proud to give this to Habitat for Humanity. And please, like I said, hey, this is one of the things I love about this association. I love giving things away. Always have. This is the result, and if y'all would please donate some prizes or whatever, it doesn't really matter what it is, just anything. It doesn't have to be hunting related, it doesn't have to be sports related, it can be anything. Just bring them on in for the clay tournament round. Thank you.
All right, now it's my pleasure to introduce our guest speaker for today. He's got a long bio, and so I'm not going to read it all. But I will tell you that I've known Dr. Salvino for quite some time now through my involvement at Coastal, and then of course through his involvement here at our association. We've had him several times before, and it's always a pleasure to get his insight and his analysis on the economic state and what we're looking at for the future. So I'm going to go ahead and just have him come on up and talk to us today. Thanks so much, Dr. Rob Salvino.
Everybody here? Okay, I'll use this. All right. Is there a clicker or? Oh, yeah, okay, perfect. So thank you. I also want to recognize this group of students here, because it is so much of what I talk about on the economy has to do with labor force participation. And I think I said the last time I came to this meeting, I do wish I had more time. I know some of you, there's a huge attendance here, I love this trade type of industry. And I'm not just saying, I just recently bought into Ace Handyman Services myself, and I've been to some community college meetings where they've spoken about how we can get folks, and at Ace, which is affiliated with Ace Hardware, we have a career ladder that we show our applicants, and it starts at intern. I'm not yet able to hire an intern, but that's something I look forward to. And then it goes to apprentice, it goes all the way up to owner of a franchise, right? And so I know in here, there are a lot of people in here owning these companies that started right where you folks are. So I would just say, you're part of the solution to so much of what adults talk about today is where are people who can do this stuff, love this stuff, and are going to become leaders of groups like this and your communities and just enjoy it. So stay out of big trouble, get into all the little trouble you want, have fun, but just go out there and do it. There's so many things you can do. It's great to see that this is something that we have to put on LinkedIn at our center all the time. And this is going on there. This is fantastic. That's probably the best thing I've seen in a long time. So thank you very much, all of you who are responsible for this. So I'm going to talk about the economy. How much time do I have, Jason? I don't want to go over. We'll keep it to 10 minutes. Yeah. All right, that never happened with me. But anyway, so let's, next slide. All right, so what do we know about the economy? We'll start looking at the U.S. economy, the rest of the world, South Carolina and the region. And then the important question is, do our experiences here in the Grand Strand, do they converge or diverge from what's happening on either the state or the national level with respect to the economy? And for example, single family versus multifamily, right? There's a big difference nationally, even state, compared to what we see here in the Grand Strand. And we'll show some slides about that. And how should we prepare for what might be coming ahead in the economy? So next slide, please. All right, so this is performance, and this actually comes from your National Association of Home Builders website. They have a really good economics team there, real estate, economy information. And on the left, so that zero divides this, okay? So it's single family on the left, and it's the regions of the country. It's U.S. in red, Midwest in green, Northwest in gold, South in blue, and West in purple. So single family year over year, or year to date August, so 8 months, is declined in all the regions of the United States, right? But multifamily is doing extremely well, especially in, Midwest and also the South, right? Oh, well, I mean, it just is doing well, period. But next slide, please. Why might this be in an environment that I think in this room we're all familiar with? We think about interest rates for a mortgage, 30-year mortgage, right? Because the people that buy the houses, and I'm just assuming that a lot of us are in the industry that's servicing single-family homes or building single-family homes, right? An individual purchases that with a mortgage, and interest rates today are heading to 7% on a 30-year mortgage, whereas they were just 3% a year ago, right? That's a big deal. That's a big affordability issue, not the affordability that most people talk about in these circles, which is let us build more product so we can keep supply plentiful and keep prices affordable, right? This is a different affordability question. This is monetary policy and interest rates that we use to buy homes, right? How come multifamily doesn't suffer from this same thing in the same exact period of time? It's because there are only 30 big banks that the Freddie Mac actually works with to back their mortgages, just 30. In single family, there's more than 1,700 banks. And then there are millions of people, right? And so it's each person has a real difficult time stretching their dollar, another $1,000 it could be when interest rates go from 3% to $1,000 a month, $1,000 a month on a payment for a house, right? That's an issue. Apartments are so favored in public policy, and because the buyers are such big groups, even when interest rates go up, there's still a lot of negotiating power to keep those down, a lot of incentives, right? Those loan sizes go from $1 million to $100 million, sometimes $1 billion. There was a funding group yesterday just got something like $1.4 billion to build another multifamily property somewhere in maybe the Northeast, I don't remember. But that's something that separates these. And the source of mortgage payments is also extremely important. the borrower's personal income versus income from rents. All right, and this really goes into what's happening in the United States today is household formation and folks that really, we're speaking to you because many people make the mistake coming out of high school. They don't know what they want to do, and they're going to go on and get a degree, for example, in something that they really don't know anything about it. And after a few years in the labor force, they realize they hate what they're doing, right? And don't know where to go. And for whatever reason, they didn't pick something that maybe they had a passion for, could become really skilled at, and can make a heck of a lot of money. A group I was with last week, a welder stood up at a conference in New Orleans to a bunch of professionals, said, it was about workforce development, said, any of you know how much I make a year? And he answered the question, he said, I make $90,000 a year, and I only work 3 months a year, right? As a welder. So there's a lot of reward in the trades, and we have a huge issue today with people not being able to afford their first home, for example. And so when interest rates go up, this is part of that, but it doesn't affect multifamily as much right now with the policy environment we have. So next slide. U.S. housing starts. We can see, right, there's a challenge right now nationwide. These are certainly trending down. I'm speaking what you folks know about. I talk to Jason regularly. We discuss this. Next slide. Single family permits, same thing. This last one is the last year, right? It's dropping down. Let's go to the next slide. All right, this is the United States. The orange is in decline. That is growth in single-family permits through August. So there's only a few states that haven't declined year-to-date in single-family building permits, right? States. South Carolina is also a state that has declined. Next slide. This is hard to look at, but this is Horry County. This is single-family permits from January 2019 through August. If we look at May, June, July, August, significantly higher than last year. So even August, it still has 722 permits in August for Horry County versus 442 last year, right? That decline, if I put that into a graph formation, I just didn't because I didn't have the software that I usually use to do it. Anyway, if we projected that, we would be at 7,200 permits for this year versus 6,725 last year. So we're not seeing this in Horry County, okay? Now, you have two types of people in the room. One says, that's a big warning sign. And the other would say, that's fantastic, right? I don't know what the answer is to that. It certainly says we're different. And that's the reason why I started by showing the multifamily versus the single family. We are a single family building region of the country, right? We build single family homes because the people who live here like single family homes. We are not a dense urban environment. Market Common is unique. Market Common is small, right, compared to the rest of the Grand Strand. So this is what we do. We build single family homes because the people here want them. And they tend to be affordable relative to the rest of the nation. They are, again, aside from that interest rate issue, homes here are much more affordable than they would be in Charleston, right? Than they would be in Charlotte, right? As you start to go out to other areas, it's more affordable here because we build. If I put Charleston on here, Charleston's at like 2,500 permits per year. Charleston County, just the county, right? So it's a big difference here. Okay, next slide. So a question that I asked, okay, well, how are we performing in sales in new homes? All right, new homes closed. This is most recent data. Closed, new homes, Grand Strand. You can see that it's still trending. We're still above where we were last year. Next slide. Days on market dropped significantly. So when the product's put out there, it's still selling, which, again, the national conversation is that stuff is taking a long time to slow. Price drops are extreme. I don't think I have the price one on here. Next slide. Let's see what it is. Never mind. I'll go back to the other side first. I'm sorry. So these are things you would look at. So your real estate data that all of you MLS members, CCAR, would have access to this data. These are just slides you can pull off there. And these are the things you check. And then groups like this are good because you talk to other builders and see how are lot sales going? How are, you know, orders for new homes from families, whatever it is, and kind of track that. This is the best we can see is, you know, folks who just look at the data that's available, but there is a difference here, and let me now go on to the next slide. There's a question, of course, comes about, what about recession? What if the big recession actually hits? So let's talk about what is going on and where we were over the last few years. So interest rates are increasing at a record pace, really, right? And why is that? Because we know that monetary expansion and the amount of spending that was able to take place in the economy the last few years, post-COVID, was a fantastic level of spending, and yet a workforce that was not producing as much, not working as much, for all kinds of reasons, right? And that's where we saw these bottlenecks, for example, some of these bottlenecks, all right? So now we have this pullback in the ability of people to spend by raising interest rates, so we can't borrow as cheaply. How's that going to affect things? Next slide. All right, so the question you should ask is, when this happens, when demand pulls back, and with housing, demand is a function of interest rates because we borrow money to buy homes, for the most part, right? A lot of retirees come down and pay full cash. A lot of people move from other places to pay full cash. But a lot of buyers use debt. So the question really is, how sticky are the prices, particularly when it comes to going down? They've moved up pretty fast, right? Really fast. Prices, it turns out, are stickier on the seller side. Sellers are usually more reluctant to lower prices if the market starts to turn and demand slows. Buyers are not as sticky. They know because of their budget what they can afford, right? And so what happens is you start to have a separation in the market. The ones who continue to buy aren't as affected as much by the interest rates. The ones who stop buying are the ones who are least able to afford, right? And that's kind of where we are right now. If this tips into a real labor force, broad-based economic decline, industries pulling back, laying off people, then you have your recession, including in housing across the board, right? All right, next slide. Oh, you know what, go back to that one, I'm sorry. I'm not used to somebody. All right, so I'm driving me crazy, but there is one thing to keep in mind. Speculation, like we saw in 2002, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then just dropped off in 7, 8, and 9. That is not what we see in the United States today, all right? Now we see it in China. I don't know if anyone's paid attention to what's happening in China. China's mass speculation and is dropping like a lead balloon, right? Economic activity in China is when they admit that it's bad, right? Because they try to cover stuff up. So anyway, fortunately we did not see that type of stuff here in this cycle, all right? Next. So this is labor force participation. The right side of this is where we are after COVID. So we're still not even close to where we were before COVID. Not near as many people. That number is 2.6 million people less working than before COVID, right? That's a big part of the reason why we don't have the supply of stuff that we wish we did. All right, next slide. I broke it out. Labor force participation of 20 to 24-year-olds and 55 plus. So at the top, we have, let me make sure, 20 to 4-year-olds, okay? And then at the bottom, we have the retirees. So both of these, on the left is pre-COVID, and on the right is since, okay? So certainly, these retirees said, I'm done, all right? After COVID, I'm working more, right? That's a pain in the ass. So on the left, the 20 to 24-year-olds move in with parents for all kinds of reasons, right? Next slide. Prime working age, 25 to 54. This is why most of us in this room are saying, where are the people who aren't working? I'm working. I don't understand where all these people are that aren't working, right? Because now, all of those in the 25 to 54 are back up to that red line, which is basically where it was before COVID. So that's the prime working age group. There are tons of exceptions to that. There's a lot of people in their early 20s that are working, a lot of people above 55 that are working, but that's just averages. All right, so that, to me, it's a very interesting thing to keep in mind, and that there was just a change in the dynamics of the workforce since COVID. All right, next. Employment level and growth. So we've added a lot of jobs since COVID, but we would be, I think, I can't read my own slides when they're up on the wall. It's too hard for me to do. Anyway, we would have a lot more jobs than we've added back if we never had COVID happen, right? So 2.6 million less turns into 5.6 million. So you just more than double what we actually are lacking, right? Because we were on a trend that was headed toward today be 5.6 million more jobs than we actually have, right? Okay, next slide. Transfer payments, that's government transfer payments, that's getting money for not doing anything, right? That is a direct competitive source of income for people not working, right? When you get more of those, you work less, right? This is a huge part of our problem in society. Next slide. So breaking it across industries, transportation and warehousing, no problem, no problem. We're all buying stuff on internet, Amazon, whatever the heck it is, right? Those jobs are soaring, and they're also building those all over the United States, building warehouses. Amazon just recently started pulling back. They built a lot of enormous spaces all over the country, and they got to the point where they said, okay, we don't need any more. So they're kind of stopping on some of those, but the last mile is still being provided by other firms. Okay, next. Leisure and hospitality, we still got a problem here. This is, I was talking to Jason earlier. If you stop building in this area, leisure and hospitality is suffering more than it was before COVID. And we don't have the type of industry that a lot of other regions have that they would fall back on. So this industry is really important to this region. All right, next. I don't know if you can see that, but anyway, it's very low. This yellow line is probably wrong color. This is just GDP, so we technically hit a recession. The administration will never admit that. They changed the definition. I've been an economist for like 20 years, and I thought the definition was 2 successive quarters of recession, but politics has now changed the definition on economists. So anyway, so that's fantastic. But anyway, I still do have a photo on the wall. I know it was one. So anyway, next slide. This is inflation. Okay, I can't believe I've gotten this far and never even said inflation one time, right? So everything that I've said to this point explains inflation, right? You have more money circulating in the economy after COVID, right? And hardly anybody working compared to before COVID. Of course, you've got inflation, right? So that's what's happened. And now they're trying to attack it and bring it back. Next slide, we might stop there. It's just components. Go to the next slide. More components, energy, housing. Housing is 30-some% of inflation in CPI. That's not talked about a lot. Your National Association of Home Builders is trying to make the administration understand that. Economists know that. 30-some% of what goes into the CPI comes from housing, right? When housing appreciates, same with energy is a big component. All right, next. All right. So there are some perverse incentives going on in policy, and it's because inflation actually is good for borrowers. Borrowers on a fixed payment, like a locked mortgage. So think about the people that bought a house 2 years ago with an interest rate below 3% at a 30-year. They're locked into that, right, forever, until they sell. They love the inflation because their income continues to go up with inflation and they're paying this smaller, relatively smaller amount of money all the time. Your government's the same way, right? If they create more and more inflation, their fixed interest payments on their bonds relatively are more and more affordable over time, right? So there is these perverse incentives. How much does the government want to attack inflation? How much will it attack inflation with rising interest rates, right? Next slide. This might be, I'm looking for one in particular. Oh yeah. So this was a study done years ago. It's called it's testing the Taylor rule, which is some economic thing. It says if we were really going to attack this inflation, our federal funds rate, which today is about 3.1%, would be at 7%. All right. So maybe next slide. Oh, there it is. This is where I'm going to stop. The Fed's fund rate to 7%. Will we get there? Will they push it there? Do we have history of being there? Certainly we do. The red line is about 7%. The tallest it ever was that's like 1981, 1982, all right, the savings and loan crisis. And back then, when people went to buy a house, a mortgage rate was 15, 16%, right? If you're lucky, you could have assumed somebody's mortgage. You had one at 7%, maybe from a few years before. That's not even really allowed today, as far as I know, so that doesn't happen. So we were also at 1999, we were at 7% federal funds rate. And in 2006, 7, we started going up to about just over 5, maybe 5.25%, all right? So the question really is, are they going to push it to 7%? And so right now, you see where we are. I don't think there's any doubt in most economists' minds that when it gets to 7%, necessarily, almost by definition of what the policy is for, we're going to have a bigger recession than we might have thought we had in the last half year or year, right? Because inflation is higher than it's ever been, right? And many economists would say they knew that was going to happen too, right? Okay, I'll stop there. I got a ton of slides probably, but there's no reason to continue going into them. I think the important thing is keep in mind is don't always look at the national situation. It can be a leader in terms of if we go into full recession, but we are different in the Grand Strand in terms of the dynamics of our economy, our workforce composition, and the types of folks who live. A lot of retirees, right? And the single-family home is a very, very high-demand product compared to multifamily, which just is a different type of animal. So pay attention to local. Keep this network alive. Listen to folks who are, dealing with lot transactions and the bigger builders and what they're seeing everywhere, but in particular, what's happening right here, right? All right, that's all I have. I don't know if question or whatever, but that's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I'll open it up. Is there any questions?
I have one question. In terms of the consumers, I'm seeing or hearing that because of the multifamily rise, the consumers now are becoming more rental as opposed to buying. Right. So how does that really affect?
Okay, so there you go. So certainly first, let me say nationally, right? We see that. We see that all over the nation, multifamily product is coming out in droves. I surveyed one of the classes I teach, which is basically urban real estate economics. I used to teach, I don't anymore. And I had about 30 students in there, and I asked them the question. Thinking I knew the answer, I was wrong. I said, we were studying like market common type developments, mixed use developments, right? And so put yourself out there 5-10 years. You graduate from coastal, get established in your career field, you're making money, and you want to buy your first place, right? Now I always tell my students, don't buy it 1, 2, 3 years out, because you're going to have a lot of jobs, probably move a lot of places if you're really, doing something. So hold off and save for down payment. And so I think it was unanimous. Every single one of them, the picture they painted for me, and I had them study their hometowns before we even got to this. It was show us what their hometowns were like with data. They all said, I want to live on 1 or 2 acres, nice 2-story house. And I was like, you're explaining suburban America, right? That is not market common. That is not multifamily downtown and wherever, right? You're explaining, so it's also what I want, and it's what almost everyone in this room wanted, right? So it is very much a part of certainly this region. It's just like a culture thing, I would actually say, right? So to that, there's still a lot of people that want the market common is a great place, right? There's only so much of that available. And then the question really does, when people start to have families, this is really when it's what's familiar to them. They see that. They enjoyed it growing up. They liked having the space. And it's what COVID did. COVID said, I want some space. I want some space, right? So you have those things kind of combating that, but it's still very real and it's still there.
Thank you. Anyone else? All right, one more time for Dr. Salvino. Next up, can I get Dave Gosnell with Mungo Homes up? So. I completely understand. All right, yeah, appreciate it. Take care. All right, So we're going to do our door prizes real fast. This is our mystery handshake. For those of you who don't know, we encourage you to network before our meeting. So the last person to shake Dave's hand before the meeting started was? Yeah, you're doing it to me. And I heard the name right when we were introducing guests, and I apologize. Raymond Gonzalez. I know he's coming forward. If you'll come on forward and grab your gift card. Congratulations, Raymond. Thanks so much, Dave. All right. Yes, thank you. And Christy Yelly. All right. Pick a good one. This is our 50-50 raffle. If you'll get your tickets out. If she pulls my ticket, something strange going on because I don't buy one because that'd just be really strange. All right. Oh, and today, our 50-50, I'm sorry, is $122 going to the winner. We really appreciate this goes to the Home Builders Care Fund, so that's part of what we use to do these charitable contributions. As you know, we've discussed before, we give over $50,000 a year out to local charitable organizations through our association. So, 379-8819. I see a big old grin. Looks like the cat that stole a canary. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, next up we're going to do tabletop drawings. As you know, we always appreciate those that participate and set up our tabletops. Those are the ones that before the meeting. If you are pulled, if you'll reach out to Patrina after the meeting, she'll get you the packets. It says 3, but I think we only have 5. I don't remember. Give me 4. Split in the middle. All right. Give me one more. No, it's nothing bad. I just know he's already left. No, I like him. He's a good guy. All right. We've got Myrtle Beach Regional Economic Development, and you don't have to come forward for this. Just come see us afterwards. Myrtle Beach Economic Development, Sandra James. Steve Wiseman with 84 Lumber. Tristan, I'm sorry. As somebody with a hard to say last name, Tristan Velo with Shades and Shutters, and Cameron Yost with Paradigm. If you'll come up and see us after the meeting today, we will get you set up for next meeting's tabletops, which is in November? I didn't think we do one. Sorry. I know, I should know. It's terrible. All right, these are door prizes for those of you who went by and saw our tabletops. The first one is from Milano. Goes to Tyler Flinner. Look at that. Those gift cards. Congratulations, buddy. Congratulations. Next up from Accent Lighting, we have I think it's an Amazon gift card for John Shostak.
There you go. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right, this one is $50 to Jay Peters, and it's another $100 to Design the Sign. So you can use them for any sign services you need. Rob Rodriguez.
There you go. Congratulations. Yeah, you're welcome.
All right, and from King Gift Baskets, we have a really nice assortment. I'm a guy. I can't tell you what all that is. But it looks really nice and something my wife would love to have. All right. From Sloan Interiors, Rob Pelkowski. Congratulations. What is that? Oh, Palmetto Protection Films, sorry. Do you have a thing for me? Yeah. And a little decor and some treats. From Palmetto Protection Films, Victoria Walters. There you go. All right, I think that wraps us up. All right. We are running a little behind, so I'm trying to get everybody out of here. I know we got a lot of work to do. Is there any old or new business we need to take care of? Perfect. Thank you so much for coming out. This concludes our general membership meeting. We will see you in November. Have a safe and great rest of your day.